Hey guys, so we went to the hospital today because he got his CT and MRI scan yesterday, and Monday he had that, and he had his PET scan on Tuesday, and today we got the results back, and nothing showed up in his lungs, nothing like it glowed, and that's a good thing. They did still see whatever was in his lungs last time, but it didn't glow in the PET scan. But they did see something in his right leg on his upper thigh. Something really small that popped up. It wasn't there last time. And it's really small. It's smaller than a pea, but they don't know if his cancer spread or if it could be a cause of his shot that I gave him that he has to get it after a certain chemo. So they don't know. Also, she couldn't tell me for sure if it was cancer or not. So she told me that she would call us tomorrow after she talked to the specialist and everybody else of the scans. And she said she'd call us tomorrow to figure out what the plan is going to be. And if worse comes to worse, he's going to have to get it biopsied to see if it's cancerous or not. And basically the plan would be a biopsy and then an MRI, an ultrasound, and if that goes to worse, we would have to get it surgically removed, which would require me and my husband and everybody to go back up to Phoenix so they can remove it. And then he would have to do radiation all over again. And they would have to change his treatment. They would have to change his chemo. To more stronger and more intense chemotherapy. They would take him off the study drug because it's not working, if that's the case. But we won't know until tomorrow when his doctor calls me back to figure out the plan. So as of right now, it's still a waiting game to find out what's going on with him and what the next steps will be. She told us not to worry about it, to not think too much about it, but it's really hard because I just feel like my son's getting taken away from me. more and more every day. It's really hard not to think of the worst every time we go for scans or we go for anything, because I feel like we're just getting bad news back to back rather than good news. And it's really hard not to think of the negative or the bad things that could happen. Everybody tells you to think of good things and positive things, but it's way harder than you think. And I really want to explain this to his brother, but I know he won't understand. And I know he's just gonna ask, is he more sick? Is he getting worse? And I don't want to tell him anything because he's gonna get upset, he's gonna cry. And I don't want to tell him anything until we know what the plan is. So until we know what's going on, what all the other specialists think, and until his doctor calls me back, we just have to wait. And that's the worst thing to do, is to wait, because we have to wait to know what everybody else thinks, and then we have to wait for them to create a plan, and then we still have to wait for whatever other test results to come in. And all the waiting just makes it 100 times harder, because you just want to know as a parent what's going on with your kid. And if they could fix it. This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my entire life. And if I could take it away from him, I would, in a heartbeat. But as of today, we have to wait and see what happens tomorrow whenever I get the call, to find out what the plan is. But I'll keep everybody informed.